afternoon, students. This is Syed Aslam, Associate Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department of Lord's Institute of Technology. Today we are going to perform an experiment which is related to thermal engineering lab, that is disassembly and assembly of 6-cylinder petrol engine, right? So here my colleague Mr. Wasim also will be assisting us in this experiment. Okay, sir. Right. So now here you are able to see a 6-cylinder petrol engine. So one by one we will be disassembling the parts, and then we will be naming the parts, and then we will explain you its function and all. This is the camshaft cover. Yeah, camshaft head cover, you can see here. See this one. Yes. Then we have, this is a camshaft which are mounted here. Here we have 2 overhead camshafts, one camshaft for operating inlet valves and one camshaft for operating of exhaust valves, right? Inlet valves and exhaust valves will be opened and closed by the movement of this camshaft, which are, camshaft is having cams on that, right? So here you can see 6 cams on each camshaft, 6 cams for 6 inlet valves and 6 camshafts, cams on camshaft for opening the exhaust valves and closing, right? Now here you can see the chain here. This is for rotating the camshaft. You know, the crankshaft and camshaft movement is almost 50%. That means when the camshaft rotates one rotation, our crankshaft will be making around 2 rotations. So that means its speed is half of the crankshaft. Okay. Now, can we take out this one? Right. So, but इसमें से ये निकालना है क्या? Yes. ठीक है? Okay. Now you are seeing here this engine head, actually cylinder head we call. This is a cylinder head containing valves, 6 valves. To my inlet valves, these are 6 valves, inlet valves. You can see the carburetor, right? So these valves are inlet valves, and the other side valves, they belong to exhaust valves. And then here you can see these valves are operated by springs and tappet mechanism, which are performed by the movement of the camshaft. Just now what we have seen, the cams will be rotating continuously, and then it will be opening a particular valves in a cylinder. So now can we, yeah, you can see here these are the exhaust manifolds. That means when our exhaust valve open, it will be letting the exhaust gases out of this manifold. There are, you can see 6 manifolds coming out from 6 cylinders and then joining. That is why we call it as a manifold. Here 3 inlet for this exhaust is coming out from 3 cylinders. So this is 3 cylinder manifold, and then one more we have 3 cylinder manifold, exhaust manifold here. So totally it is a 6-cylinder exhaust manifold. Yes, we can remove now. You can see here, this is the 3-cylinder manifold, exhaust manifold, and then you can see these openings which are connected to the manifolds here. This on 6. And then similarly here on the other side we have a carburetor, and then with that carburetor we have a manifold, and then this manifold, that is fuel and air mixture or charge will be inducted into this manifold during suction, and then it will be inducted through these inlet manifolds to the each individual cylinders. You can see here, right. So we are dismantling the inlet manifolds. Here you can see it is connected with the carburetor on the top. Okay, right. Yeah. As I told you, this is the cylinder head containing the valves, right? And then provision for carburetors also. Yes. Okay. Right. Now you can see here a cylinder block containing 6 cylinder and 6 pistons. You can see this one. This is a cylinder liner with the piston here, and then this is the cylinder liner with piston at the top, and then this is the cylinder with the piston down, and then other cylinder here we have, and then finally we have 2 more cylinders with the pistons. So these firing orders depends on the specification or the manufacturer, how he makes the engine. So it can be 1, 6, then 3, 4, 2, 5. This may be the firing order. It may be differing from different engines. For different engines, it may be differing. This is a timing chain you can see here, which will be connected to the camshaft. Just now we have dismantled the camshaft, so it will be connected to the gear which is mounted on the camshaft, and then when it rotates, the camshaft also will be rotating. Yes. And then you can see the movement of the pistons here. Now you can see the movements of pistons in individual cylinders. And then this will be operated by the valves, which are overhead camshafts are there, which will be operating the valves, which will be there in the cylinder head. Right. Yes. And then you can see this is the flywheel which is connected to the crankshaft here at the extreme end. We have this flywheel. What is the function of the flywheel is to store the energy. During idle stores, we know that in any engine there are 4 strokes, that is suction, compression, power and exhaust. Power stroke is the only stroke which will be giving energy, and during the other strokes, that is suction, compression and exhaust, they are the idle strokes. So this energy will be stored by this flywheel to operate those idle strokes. That is why this flywheel is mounted, which is a heavy wheel at the end of the crankshaft. Now you can see here we have crankshaft. These cylinders, individual cylinders are connected, are having piston, and piston is connected to connecting rod, and connecting rod is connected to crankshaft. So now here the movement of the piston from top dead center to bottom, that is linear motion, will be converted into rotary motion by the use of connecting rod and crankshaft. So now here we have the crankshaft here in this one. We are not able to see here, but this is the I will show you there the crankshaft. Then below the crankshaft, this is the crankcase which will be holding the oil for lubrication purpose. Yeah. Now here you can see a cutout model of a 4-stroke engine. Now here you are able to see piston, right, connecting rod, and then which is connected to the crank end. So this part is the crankshaft, and this is the connecting rod, and this is the piston which will be moving in a rectilinear motion from top to bottom and bottom to top during its operation. And then you are able to see the piston ring. So there will be 2 rings, one ring for the compression of the gases. That means it will not allow the gases to let into the crankcase, and then second one is oil seal, which will not allow the oil to enter at the top of the piston. So now here you can see this one, and then can you rotate? Now you can see the movement of the pistons here, and then this crankshaft, it is connected with the chain to the camshaft. You see here, this is the gear which is connected to the camshaft. I told you the function of the camshaft is to operate the valves, right? So now here, when our crankshaft rotates, so this chain will be transmitting the power to the camshaft. So camshaft will be rotating as per the requirement of the cylinder, and then it will be opening the particular valve and closing the valve as per the design. Okay. So now you can see this is the chain and this is the reducer of this chain, and then we can say this one it will be connected to some starting motor, actually this part. And then you can see this is a flywheel. You can see the movement of the valves here, the movements of the valves, right? Yes. So here, this portion here, there is a water jacket around the cylinder, so that we cool the engine continuously, because we have seen in our heat balance part of the heat will be carried away by the cooling water, so that the engine parts will be having the temperature within their limits. Suppose if it increases beyond that limit, then parts are going to be damaged. So it will be deformed, and then it will not function as a engine, and then this piston and cylinder will get seized. For that we have a water jacket. So through this water jacket, water will be continuously moving, and then it will be removing the heat continuously. And then this water will be sent to the radiator, and then in radiator it gets cooled because of the air movement of the air, right? By convection, the air carries away the heat of the water, and then again cool water will be again circulated in the engine jacket. Okay. Yes, yes. Same thing is here in this engine also. Here you can see these are the openings for water to circulate. We have the gasket here. Then on that, the water will be cooling the top of the cylinder, and then on the side of the cylinder also it will be cooling and then carrying the water. These are the tools we use for assembly and disassembly of engine. Right. Yes. Now we are performing the assembly of the engine which we have dismantled just now. So can we do that now, Mr. Wasim? Now cylinder head we have assembled, right? Then now we are assembling the camshaft assembly. This is an overhead camshaft. We have two shafts, camshafts, one for exhaust valve opening and one other for inlet valve opening. We are assembling the carburetor along with the manifold, inlet manifold, you can see. Now we are assembling the exhaust manifold. This manifold is in two parts. One manifold is for 3 cylinders, and one more manifold is for other 3 cylinders. We have assembled the manifold. Now we can put the cover of the camshaft. This is the cover for the camshaft. This is an air filter which you are seeing here for this engine, which will be mounted over the carburetor, right here, right on the carburetor, and then now you can see the carburetor also air filter mounted on the carburetor, right. This completes our experiment on assembly and disassembly of engine. Okay. Thank you students.